So we'll be going over IRS Form 8822B, change of address or responsible party for business. So we recorded this video in May of 2023, and I will keep that YouTube video up because there are a lot of good comments, questions, and answers on that video. Because of YouTube rules, the best that I can do is just put old videos into an archive folder and just flag them as not the most current form. So in this video, we're going to discuss some of the questions that I received over the past year or so regarding this change of address form and try to give a complete top to bottom run through of this change of address form based on the questions that I've received and the form instructions. So we've also updated the accompanying article, which you can find on teachmepersonalfinance.com. Simply type in IRS Form 8822-B and you'll see just one article, the most up-to-date version of this form. So before we begin, if you are also changing your home address, you'll need to use a separate form, IRS Form 8822, which is your changing of your home address. So one of the questions that I've received is why would I change my address with the IRS? So there are several ways to update your address with the IRS. You can call the IRS, validate your information so that they know that you're who you say you are and that you represent the business that you say you represent, and then you can notify them via phone. You can do that simply by filing a current version of your tax return. However, if you're expecting correspondence, or even if you're not expecting correspondence from the IRS, it's always a good practice to update your address on file with the Internal Revenue Service, simply because if you do receive correspondence, you're going to receive it at the address that's on file. So certain notices, IRS like CP notices, for example, that may tell you fairly important tax information. Sometimes if they require an action, there's a clock that starts running as soon as that notice is created. So if you owe taxes, for example, then you may be expected to respond to that notice within a certain time frame. So let's just say you had 60 days to pay an estimated tax bill that the IRS calculated for you. If it takes a couple weeks for that form or notice to catch up with you, or if it gets lost in the mail because you didn't update your address, that's not the IRS's problem. That becomes your problem. If you change the responsibility, the responsible party in your business, you are required by the IRS to notify them within 60 days of that change of responsible party. So changing an address is always a good idea. Changing a responsible party is a mandatory event. So we're going to go through top to bottom of this form, and then we're going to go over some things that I've noted in the instructions on the back, and then we'll wrap it up. So at the very top of the form, you'll see a checkbox for a tax-exempt organization. So if you're a tax-exempt organization, check the box. So in this example, we're not a tax-exempt organization. This is a small mom-and-pop company called Doe Enterprises. We're going to check the income tax return box. Simply, it's a business, and we're going to change the location. So we would check boxes 1 and 3. Now, if we also are responsible for employee retirement plans, like a 401k, for example, you would also check box 2 so that these different forms, like forms 5500, 5500 EZ, all of that correspondence goes to the new location. So in line 4A, we're going to enter the name of the business, and line 4B, the employer identification number. So if you don't have an employer identification number for your business, and that is a common question that I've been asked, then you would file IRS form SS4. That is for the for the IRS to assign you an employer ID number. So we'll put links to in the show notes to any forms, uh, uh, any videos and articles about forms that we mentioned in the video. In line 5, you'll enter the old mailing address. So in this case, Doe Enterprises is moving from 1000 Main Street to 2000 Main Street, Anytown, Texas, 12345. If this were a foreign country, then you would enter the name of the foreign country, foreign province or county, and then the postal code. So if this were a post office box, you would enter the P.O. box number instead of your street address only if the post office does not deliver mail to your street address. So if you have a post office box out of convenience, that's different than if you have a post office box for the simple reason that your physical address does not receive mail. So in line 6, we're going to change the mailing address. We're going to annotate it in the same way that the old mailing address is. And then one question that I've received is if I am, if I am not changing my business location, or if my business location is the same as my new mailing address, do I need to enter something in line 7? Now, the form instructions don't really specify what you should do in this case. What I would say is anytime you leave a blank, pretend that you're the person processing this form. So if I received this form and I was working for the IRS, my old mailing address is 1000 Main Street. My new mailing address is 2000 Main Street. I would, if this were blank, then I would assume the new business location is 2000 Main Street. But if I put it, or if I saw that in there, then it would be less ambiguous. Because sometimes people change their mailing address. Maybe they update a post office box, but their business location stays the same. Maybe they change where their mail is sent and they put a CO, care of my accountant mailing address in there, but the business location never changes. So what I would maybe encourage people to do is just make sure that the new business location, even if you never moved, is your current business location or the one that you intend for the IRS to have on file. That's what I would say. And then for new responsible party, if you're not updating your responsible party, you can leave boxes 8 and 9 blank. If you put N/A, like not applicable, that makes it very clear to the IRS person that may be processing this form and updating your record that the responsible party on file remains on file. But, that's just me, and that's just my experience after having seen this question pop up quite a few times in the comment section. So in this case, I'm putting John Doe as the new responsible party. He bought this company for $1 from his father, Joe Doe. So he is going to be the new responsible party, and we would put his social security number or individual taxpayer ID number if he doesn't have one. So it does say that you can put an employer identification number. However, that is generally for government entities. So that is what I researched when I looked up the specifics in Form SS4, the instructions. Generally, only government entities may have an EIN as for the responsible party. Then in box 10 is the signature field. Right above the signature, you can enter a daytime telephone number of the point of contact, and then sign, date, and then enter the title of the field. So the signature must belong to either an officer, an owner, a general partner, or an LLC member manager, plan administrator, a fiduciary, or an authorized representative. So if you're not authorized to sign on behalf of the company, then this form needs to be processed by someone who can sign. So other filing considerations are you can't file this online, so you have to file it by mail. You can find whichever state or location that your old business address is in, and it's either going to go to the IRS office in Kansas City, Missouri, or in Ogden, Utah. And then let's see. One last question is that generally it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to process your responsible party change. So you should receive a notice at both your old location and your new location that the IRS has processed your change with a change of address notice. So you should receive what's known as a CP 148 notice at your old location and your new location. So, but you can always check your online account to see if that's updated in your records. Again, it should take about 4 to 6 weeks. So that's all we have for this article or for this video. Like I mentioned, we cover all these details in the article itself. You find it on teachmepersonalfinance.com, as well as the other articles for forms mentioned in this video. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. And if you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions or comments and you can't find the answer in the archive version comments box section, please feel free to drop a note in the comment section here. Thank you very much and have a great day.